Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of our FM19 Journeyman in charge of Troyes in the Liga 1, where we are here for 2 more games against Nimes and Auxerre. But before we get into this, I have 2 questions which I really want to ask, and if you could leave any feedback or responses to these in the comments, it would be much appreciated. So firstly, we're coming up to the end of the season, and we've been going at this for a while now. We're a good few years into the game, getting around to the 10-year mark, but we're not quite there yet. But I was wondering if you would like an episode where we just sort of flicked around the top clubs, the top leagues, and just see what was happening in the world outside of our own little bubble, I guess. See what's happening at some of like the bigger leagues in the world, who's won in the past few years, what sort of the big teams are looking like now, you know, your Man United, Liverpool, Juventus, Bayern, Madrid, Barcelona, those sorts of teams. And we can just have a flick around, you know, just make, say, a 20-minute video where we just hop around the world and see what's going on. We can also look at, like, our past clubs, see what Yarrow, Toslanda, Berwick, Atletico Pamplona B, see what they're doing. I don't think that last one really matters, but, well, yeah, if you are interested in that, do let me know. And question number 2 is, what do you think we should be doing at the end of the season? Not in terms of do we stay at the club, because I'll tell you right now, I'm staying at the club. I'm really enjoying my time at Troyes and have no intention of moving on right now. But how would you strengthen this side? What would you be looking at in terms of, oh, we need this? Because I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of struggling. I quite like our starting 11, but I think we need more depth, more strength in depth. I think we lack replacements. I think we lack options. So that would be where I was looking, but I am intrigued to get your input and see what you are thinking. So if you could leave responses to both of those, whether you would like an episode where we just flick around the world and what we should be doing in the summer, yeah, leave that in the comments and it would be much appreciated. So, with that out the way, let's get into today's episode. And there was an international break. Now, normally that would be a cause for dismay as we have to wait 2 weeks to get to the next match, but when we have key injuries, that is the best news you can possibly hear, and it does mean today, Ilan Bordas is back in the side, barely. He's on 93% fitness, he's been back a couple of days, and I'm shuttling him straight back into the side in his anchorman role, partnering Parmentier, and I'm just hoping it can work out. Now, he may not play the full game, Schilling is definitely on the bench, and he may come on at half-time, he may come on a little bit after that, depending on how the game's going. But I want to get him minutes. I want to get him back to being match sharp so that we can utilise him to his fullest, especially in these difficult games at the end of the season. So, well, that's the only change to the side as far as I'm aware. No, it isn't. Follett is suspended, so I brought in Diabate. Diabate has a higher star rating than Ponte, or actually they're even, but when I actually drop Ponte in, Diabate is higher because Ponte wants to be as a covering central defender, so yeah, I'm just going to utilise Diabate. He's also younger, and they're pretty similar in terms of overall stats, and also on the pitch performance. I can't really set them apart too massively, so play the younger player, why not? Diabate is probably definitely going to be here next season, purely because he's on so little money, he's so cheap, and he's actually decent with a lot of potential in front of that too. His jumping reach is also skyrocketing, which is crucial. It's by far his weakest area. So he may actually develop into quite a good player. I'm quite excited to see what he becomes. But with that all said and done, let's get into this game. Now, we still obviously don't quite have a first 11 due to Follett being out, but we're very, very, very close to that now. So it's the strongest team I think we've put out for quite a while. I love all our regens, by the way. We've got loads. We've only got 3 non-regens? I never actually realised until now that Zacharias Antonio is actually a real bloke. Okay, that's kind of cool. I've actually not quite clicked onto that before, but Nimes have a couple of, a good mix here of regens and normal players, but there's no one who actually jumps out to me. Even Diaby, who apparently plays for PSG, doesn't ring any bells. I think he's very young currently, so yeah, that's probably why. I'm not familiar with PSG's youth team, but well, let's get into the match. Let's just go. We've been going through the preamble for long enough as the assistant saved us a little bit there. A couple of players getting motivated by him. So, right, let's just go. Well, there's a goal kick here from them. They're going to lump the ball up and it falls straight to Nasruddin, who controls very nicely. And, well, can we maybe find an attack off the back of this as we're taking our time on the ball? But, well, not anymore. It's a long ball up. They win it, but Stefan fights for the loose ball, plays it forward to Grandstar, who's inside the box. He strikes, but they just get a hand to it. It's a very well-worked effort. And it's good to see that hustle from Stefan to win the ball back. But we take a corner, Bordas flicks in. Can't pick anyone out though. Stefan finds the loose ball. Plays inside to Parmentier. We do still have possession in a dangerous area with a lot of men up. No, unfortunately, Stefan loses out on the ball. A poor touch leads them to be able to steal the ball. But we've had chances. It's not that bad. But they have a free kick here. They're going to strike. Mysonial saves the first and the second is blocked by Diabate. That was close. That second shot was probably going in if Diabate didn't pull a bit of heroics there as they flick in the corner but head wide. No, we head wide. It's another corner. That was very close. A wonderful save, by the way, by Mysonial. I don't think we can understate that. Excellent work from him as he claims the second corner with ease. Is this going to keep going? No, this is the shot off the line that Mysonial saved. And that's how close it was. It was a fantastic dive. It was a great save, to be honest. I'm still surprised about how good Mysonial is. But we do have a throw-in. Parmentier on the ball after receiving it from Nasruddin. Finds Horn on the right-hand side. A great switch of play there. And Horn just loses the ball. He just walks into someone. And we're unable to reclaim, even though their pass, not the best there. We just don't take the loose ball for some reason. And they're now the ones in possession, looking to push forward, looking to attack us. Ruiz is playing it wide, and we're under a bit of pressure. We need to try and get this ball back. We need to try and turn this into one of our highlights, really. But we're struggling to do so. They're working it very nicely, and their passing's good. They've found space out on the right. The first time cross is decent. It falls to the edge of the box, but the shot, close, but not in the back of the net. Fortunate there, we get away with that. And, well, another highlight. Horn throws. Horn's throw-ins aren't very good. I'm just coming to this conclusion now. Horn's throw-ins aren't great. As Grandsar takes the ball, he strikes, but it's easily saved. It wasn't the most thrilling shot ever. It was decent, but it wasn't great by any means. As well, we steal the ball from one of their throw-ins, and that ball from Grandsar to Stefan, absolutely perfect. He finds Asay up front, who's running onto the keeper. Can he strike? Okay, it's a corner. I thought he just shot and just put it there, and I would have been livid. But no, it's a corner. It was a good tackle by them. We play short for Grandsar, but his strike not good enough. And we're having chances, we're having shots, but we can't hit the back of the net, and this is actually quite worrying. Half-time, and we've been by far the dominant team, the majority of highlights and actual stats being ours, but we've just not scored, and that's, well, it makes all of that irrelevant, really, doesn't it? So I'm going to go out there and aggressively say I'm far from pleased, because we need to be winning games like this, and we're not, to be blunt. We're not winning games like this, and this is part of the problems we need to fix. We need to be more clinical. We need to do better when we have this many chances, and this is just another example of when we aren't doing that, as they now have the ball. It's just inside the second half, and they strike, it just goes over the bar. That was far too close for my liking. He was left very unmarked, and we basically got away with them having poor finishers as opposed to anything else. As Nasruddin's throwing is diabolical, but I don't think we can quite, slate him too much for that, because a lot of his throws this season have been excellent. As Horn steals the ball beautifully there, absolutely top-class defending from a 17-year-old right-back, as Grandsar's now on it, forward to Stefan. He's running towards the keeper, he strikes. Too far out, though, and the shot, high and wide. We're still having chances, which is good to see, but it's just not enough. And now I'm looking at, I didn't pause. I'm looking at Ilan Bordas's fitness, and I'm going to bring him off. He is getting towards that 75% mark. I don't want to get him injured again straight after him coming back. So we're going to make that change. I'm actually going to make another one while we're here. Oh, I can't. Hold on, where's the edit button? There it is. I always forget that exists for some reason. I'm going to bring on Mawessa for Asay as a winger on attack and just try and change this a little bit, because Asay's not having the best game, so let's go for something else. Well, we've got a throw-in. Nasruddin finds Marietti, and we're looking to try and create another chance. We flick into the box, and Grandsar rises up with his head and nods inside. It's his 11th of the season, and it is a very, very good goal at that. Great cross from Nasruddin. I love how many goals come from Nasruddin's throw-ins on this side. He's really lethal with these balls into the box, and he's very, I don't know, he's just a really good player. I really like Nasruddin, I don't know why. Zimmerman's rated higher by the stars, but I just find Nasruddin to be so much more impactful. There's another highlight, Antonio absolutely just giving the ball back to them there, I'm not sure why, but they're coming forward, and they're looking to try and strike, but Mysonial there, he keeps it out, fair play to him, but he probably should have caught that. It was straight at him and didn't look too difficult, but they have a corner. We managed to head clear, although that was probably going to be the keeper's anyway. I think we've made this harder for ourselves rather than easier. Fortunate, again, that they are poor. That is literally what's bailing us out. They've had a lot of shots recently. I'm not a fan of this. Where's this come from? They've just had a shot while the game's paused. That's bizarre. But yeah, they've had a lot of shots recently, which isn't a great sign, as there is another highlight. We're playing up to this right-hand side. We can't find Grandsar, though. The long ball, only finding their player. And that's why we have short distribution on, which was for some reason ignored. As they cross into the box, they just head over the bar. We are being bailed out right now by poor finishing, as they have a throw-in. I was just about to pause. We've put in a foul. The referee's reviewing the footage. Let's find out the verdict. So the referee's reviewing his footage, but this could be catastrophic either way. Parmentier's already on a yellow. It's outside the box and a free kick, but this could still be a red card. No, it isn't. Right, we've gotten away with that one massively. Now, the issue is, I don't know who to bring on for Parmentier. We don't have a Sede on the bench, and he's our main backup for that role. We could potentially go with someone like Sandro Mourinho as a deep line playmaker, but again, I'm not really sure that's the best option. There might just be worth the risk of just keeping Parmentier out there, and I think that's what I'm going to go for, and I'm going to bring on a Buemo down the right-hand side for Gransar. Get a fresh pair of legs out there, change the system a little bit, just a minor tweak, just to try and throw them off. Also going positive on our playstyle, try and retain the ball. They've got a free kick right after we've made that change. Thankfully, we just see it wide. Maisonial, absolutely outstanding game here today. Kept a lot of shots out of the box and done a wonderful job of commanding his area. But they're going to get a corner from this. Now, we can only hope that nothing will come of it, as I don't think this is a real highlight because that's taking so long. Normally, when there's huge delays for things like this, it's just not the case. The 6-second rule is being very clearly violated here, but I'm not going to complain because it's helping us. We're the team that's winning. We didn't even see the corner. What was the point of all of that? Well, minutes remain. Noé Stefan's just picked up a knock, but right now we are riding out this 1-0 lead against Nimes. Maisonial with a goal kick, plays it up the side to Horn, and it looks like we are going to hold on to this. Marietti in the centre of the park, just hold the ball until the time ticks down, basically. Mauesa's on it. We're just knocking it around very nicely, to be honest. Wonderful job here, actually, of finding space and controlling the play. The ball to Horn, not the best there, but Buemo lunges in on a player. It doesn't matter. That is full time. Surely we are a minute over, and yes, there we go. It's a 1-0 win against Nimes. Not bad at all. Really hard to complain about that performance. We did good. We did fairly well. Now, they came into it a lot in the second half. They had a lot of chances, and there were situations where I feel like we got away with them missing shots. We kind of got that win because they were poor, more than our own benefit. They put themselves into some really nice positions, but just could not execute. But, on saying that, look at the ratings of our backline. 7.1, 7.1, 7.3, and 7.8 for Nasruddin, picking up the man of the match performance there. The only other player on more than a 7 was Gransar, who scored the goal. So, it's not the best win ever, and I'm not trying to paint it as though it is, but it is a good result. We were being under heavy pressure for a lot of that game, and they were looking dominant, but we held tight. We didn't make it easy for them by any means. And we did quite well. I quite like to see us being able to just scrap to a 1-0 when we need to, rather than relying on scoring 4 goals but conceding 3. It's just quite nice to see us win because we defended well and kept a good clean sheet. And massive credit to Maisonial for helping keeping us in that game with a wonderful goalkeeping performance. So, well, we're still in 9th. We're 4 points behind 8th, so we can potentially try and push for that come the end of the season. Let's see what the next game against Angers will bring us. So here we are for game number 2 against Angers, and well, there are a couple of changes to the side due to some suspensions. Sede comes in for Parmentier and Buemo in for Gransar. Both of those have got 1 match bans due to too many yellow cards, so, well, changes have had to be made. Now, Bordas is still in the side. He's back to 100% fitness, but still lacking that match sharpness, so he may still make way for Schilling towards the end of the game. I'm not 100% sure yet. Similarly, Sede also struggling, and so is Buemo. He's not great for it, but hopefully he should be alright. Now, the only other thing to note is I'm choosing to leave Diabate in place of Follett. I'm actually going to drop Follett on the bench, because not doing so would be ridiculous, but I was just quite impressed with how Diabate did, to be honest. So, we've got a few games left this season, 7 to be precise. Let's give him a little bit of a run. Let's see what he can do, because he's a young centre-half with a lot of potential. We're not utilising him as much as we should be, to be honest, and, well, I'm gonna remedy that. I'm gonna give him some games at the end of the season. So, let's submit the team. Few players there, not 100%, but they should be able to do a decent enough job. Angers slightly below us in the table, so hopefully we can just do a good job, as they've got a couple of notable players. Garcia from Man City, obviously a very young player in real life, and Rogic from, I believe it's Celtic, I could be wrong, but yeah, it is. He's actually been there forever. So, let's get into the dressing room. Let's hand over to the assistant, because I can't be bothered if I'm being honest. I don't know what the right option is against a team that's so close to in the table. I don't really know what the right thing is to say, and apparently neither does the assistant, because, well, Maisonial liked it. I guess that's the most we've got to say. It's Rudy Gracia, I believe, is their manager. So, well, that's at least the name I recognise. We've got a free kick here. Bordas on it. He's going to flick it into the box. Marietti goes close, but it's just wide. However, he's indicating he was pushed, and a penalty has been awarded. Now, we are going to step up to take it, and Buemo is going to be the man behind the ball. Actually, our lead penalty taker, but barely ever plays, and maybe it's for good reason, as he puts it straight in the keeper's hands. Should be 1-0 up, but we aren't. But it's still 1-0. Let's keep going. Oh, it's still 0-0, sorry. Let's keep going as we have a corner. We flick in. Stefan goes just over. I can't believe we missed a penalty. That is absolutely heartbreaking. They've got a throw in here, deep in our half, and Rogic on the ball. We're going to have to try and win this back as they flick in. They head close, and it goes in. Kadima managing to find the back of the net. We're trailing after we missed the penalty. This is... I don't want to see it again. It was a cross and a header. We've seen 1,000 cross and headers over the course of this series. Half-time, and we're 1-0 down, and we've missed a penalty. We're getting straight into this. Aggressive. Show me something else. Go. And Buemo's rating, by the way, is in the dumpster. It's on a 6 because he missed a penalty, and that's how ratings work in this game. If you miss a penalty, you're the worst player to ever exist, apparently. Got a throw in deep in their half. Nasruddin tries to find Marietti and sort of does so, and is able to give the ball into the centre to Bordas. Now, can we try and build a chance? We've gone back, we've slowed it down, and well, it's a long ball up. Assay, can he get on the end of it? He flicks it in, and Noé Stefan, his 15th goal of the season. Another assist for Derek Assay. That's his 11th assist as well. That is a great tally for Liga 1, his first season in the division and his first season at the club. And again, we went all the way back and went to rebuild, but Antonio picks out a lovely ball there to Derek Assay. The pass across the goal is sublime. Stefan is positioned perfectly and is able to knock it in past Amrani, and it puts us 1-1. Now, there is still time left to go in this game, and I don't think we should be giving up just yet. So with 25 minutes still to play, I'm going to make a change. Now, I'm going to bring Assay over to the right-hand side as an attacking winger, and then go for Malwesa on the left as again, an attacking winger. And just go for that, because Mbuemo, yes, he was on a poor rating because of his missed penalty, but he's gone from a 6.1, which he started on, down to a 5.7. He's evidently still not playing well. So, let's get into this. And there's still time left, and we can still find a goal. We just need to create a chance. Well, added time has all but flown by, and it looks like it's going to be a 1-1 draw. And we missed a penalty and withdrew. That's just... it's just annoying, really, isn't it? But it was a close-fought game. It was a bit devoid of highlights, really, if we're going to be honest. But I'm going to be aggressive and say I expect to see you all in training tomorrow, because that just wasn't... it wasn't not good enough, but it wasn't great either. It was just poor. It was just not inspiring at all. So let's be harsh on them and hopefully try and inspire some better performances, as that does take us up to a total tally of 46 points, which, well, it's not too bad when you think about it, is it? It's a pretty respectable tally for your first season in the division, with 6 games remaining too. A potential 18 points, is that still on the cards? We could still finish over 60, theoretically, which wouldn't be bad at all. So, let's wrap this up here. Now, if you could all please leave answers to the questions I posed at the start of the video, that would be very much appreciated. And, well, let's... oh, wait, have we avoided relegation? I'm confused. No, it's... oh, yeah, we have. We've mathematically avoided relegation. That is actually quite the accomplishment. There we go. We honestly can't be upset. So, if I'm not mistaken, we must be over 18 points clear of the team bottom of the league, who are on 24. But, yeah, we are. We're 18 points clear. Oh, no, sorry, the relegation we're avoiding. So there's still the relegation playoffs. Okay, that was a load of fuss over nothing. Next time, though, we will be fully clear of relegation. So, let's wrap this up. Like I said, please could you leave any responses to the questions I posed at the start of the video in the comments. It would be greatly appreciated, just to try and help sort of give me some direction on what you want to do. And, yeah, I will catch you all tomorrow, where the video will be up at 5:30 for 2 more games against Rennes and Nantes. And, yeah, you can subscribe to get that into your feed. Follow Twitter and join the Discord. Videos get tweeted and posted in there as well. And it's nice to see some discussion going on there as well. It's really nice to see. So, yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I will catch you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful night and goodbye.